And I believe we are live, if I'm not mistaken. Let me make sure we're live. Okay, looks like we're live. Yo, what's good, guys? First, before we get into any of this, let me know how the stream looks. Let me know how the audio sounds and everything like that. We'll dive straight into it. Today, we're going to be just doing a live Q&A. It's not going to be anything out of the ordinary. Out of the unusual, my bad. We do Q&As all the time on Instagram, but today we're just going to be doing it on YouTube. So, yeah, man, let me know how the audio sounds. This does not look. Okay. It's good here. It's good here. Dope. All right, cool. The audio's good. Audio straight. How can I see how many people in here? Hold on for 1 second. Let me just go to the view on my screen so I can see what's actually going on. We got 121 people in here. So before we even get into this Q&A, let me know where y'all checking in from, man. City, state, country, wherever y'all are in the world, let me know. I'm just interested. Where y'all checking in from? Okay. Am I using my cam link? Yeah, I'm actually using my cam link. So this is being streamed right now on the Canon 60 Mark II. Checking in from Sweden, Finland, Montreal, ATL, dope. UK, Detroit, Canada, London, Memphis. So we like worldwide right now, which is dope as hell. Miami, Florida in here. I'm from South Africa. That's fire, man. Man, we got people in here from every freaking where in the world right now, which is tight. That's cool to see. Yeah, fire, man. So yeah, like I said, today we're just gonna be doing a live Q&A. So, if you guys have any questions that you want to ask me, I'm here to answer them. It's just gonna be a session where we interact with each other, and don't feel bad about using this as an opportunity to link with everybody else in the chat section. So that's tight, man. We're coming from everywhere, man. We got Ireland in the building, Belgium, Texas, places I've never even heard of, Egypt, Pakistan, Atlanta. Are y'all lying, man? I feel like some of y'all lying. Y'all can't be from everywhere, man. All right, so the first question I'm going to answer is from Sam. Sam asks, why did you choose YCImaging for your channel name? What about a cool name like Christopher Rhodes? Very interesting, because I would love to switch my channel name to my actual name, but YCImaging is just something that stuck with a lot of people, stuck with them. I used to get called Young Chris all the time, so I kind of tried to put that YC into my name for my business when I was trying to create the actual brand that I was going for. And I was doing designs and photography and video at the time. So I kind of wanted to use a word that pertained to them all. I was going to use like YC Visions or like Innovations or something stupid like that. But imaging kind of fit all of those things. So that's kind of where the name came from. But yeah, I don't know. I hate YCImaging though. I personally don't like the name anymore. I hate it. I would love to just switch it to Christopher Rose, but it's just something that stuck though. So it's whatever. The next question. So before I even get into the rest of the questions, if I answer a question that's similar to the one that you're asking, or it's actually the same, I'm going to try to stay away from it, because I don't want to spend this entire time answering the same questions, if that makes sense. So I'm going to sift through. I'm going to pick the ones that I think are good, the ones that I think are actually going to help people. And I'm going to answer those. I would love to answer every single question that's going to come to this chat, but I just can't physically do it. Okay, cool. Let's keep it rolling. Lens versus body. I'm going to say lens, because lenses go very far, and lenses actually do affect the way the image looks in terms of like depth of field and focal range and stuff like that. So definitely lens. I think lenses are the best things to invest in for sure. How do you tell clients how much a video costs? They hate if I charge more than $300. Just tell them what you charge, and if they want to pay, cool. And if they don't, and you want to negotiate with them, that's up to you. But I don't feel any shame at all telling a client how much I charge for a video. If they can't pay it, then that's cool. Regardless, they're gonna go get somebody else to do it at the end of the day. So don't feel bad about you wanting to charge what you want to charge for your video production. What kind of millimeter lens size do you prefer to shoot a music video? My favorite lens is 35 millimeters. So if I was going into a music video to shoot with only one lens, I would probably pick that. I just love 35 millimeters personally. Man, there's so many questions coming through here, man. If you have a question that you know for sure that you want to get answered, feel free to hit the super chat, man, because that's something that I won't miss. Not an obligation at all. I'm going to try to answer as many questions as possible, but if you know for sure you need this question answered, you might want to do that. What was the most challenging aspect of creating your brand? I think trying to stay original and stay in your own lane, because we get influenced all day by everything, whether it's intentional or not. Like, you see a lot of stuff from other creators that you love, and I mean, this is everybody. Everybody tries to not necessarily copy someone else, but they get inspiration from other people. So I think the hardest thing about anybody trying to build their own brand is just to try to stay original and true to themselves. Do I follow a script for my channel? No, I don't. A lot of my stuff is like freestyle. Sometimes I'll write it down. Sometimes I'll jot down like key points that I know I want to talk about in the videos, but nothing is scripted. APS-C or full frame. I'm gonna say full frame for photography, but APS-C for video. What Canon camera do you advise for live recordings or long recordings, like for a show and whatnot? Honestly, the majority of them are going to stop at the 30-minute mark. So take that into consideration. I mean, I don't know. It's going to depend on what you're doing. Also budget and stuff like that. But maybe like something like a Canon C200 or C100 Mark II or something like that. How can we get 3D LUT created for free? I'm not sure. I don't know if they offer a free version of it. How are cheap indie filters versus more high-end ones? Is there any way to buy a nice one? So indie filters is something that you're not going to want to slack on in terms of like value. The better, the more money you spend for an indie filter, the better it's going to be. Now, a couple things that could happen wrong with an indie filter that is going to negatively affect your footage is the color cast. Most indie filters will kind of shift your image blue, some more than others. Some is like borderline not even noticeable, and also some can affect the sharpness of your video. So indie filters are not something that you're going to want to slack on. So why APS-C for video? Personally, full frame video looks amazing because of the depth of field that you can get from it. But APS-C, I love it because of that exact same reason. It's like a lot less shots that you're going to be shooting that are out of focus. It's a lot easier to miss focus when you're shooting full frame. Basically, that's what I'm saying. So if you're trying to do depth of field on both systems, it's going to be easier to actually keep your subject in focus on APS-C most of the time. So that's why I prefer it for video. Best low light DSLR. The best low light mirrorless camera is definitely the A7S Mark II. How do I color grade my live? So if you're using OBS, you can actually use LUTs on OBS. In your opinion, what's the biggest difference when it comes to being an amateur and being a professional? I don't know, yo. I think work speaks for itself. If your work looks good, then you're gonna be borderline professional. But I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what separates professional from amateurs. Certain stuff that professionals just do, certain looks that they just produce, just looks professional, and a lot of the times amateurs also produce a similar look. So I don't know. Honestly, I don't know the question for that. The answer for that. Why do you crank the mic again instead of just protecting your voice more? What did I do? Is the audio messed up? Can you do reviews of music videos? Maybe that's something that I'll eventually start back doing on the channel. I don't know. I was doing it for a while, but I don't like critiquing videos personally. It makes me look at videos with a different eye. It's almost like I'm looking at videos to find something that's wrong with them. So maybe soon. I don't know. I'll be doing my very first music video Wednesday. What should I look out for, and any tips? Just shoot as much as possible. That's the best tip that I can give to you. I'm looking to buy a lens for shooting music videos. I only have a 50mm 1.8. It's super blurry when shooting. Don't want any depth of field. Looking for super sharp. If you want a more sharp image with less with more in focus, just boost the aperture up in your shot. With this IGTV kicking off, what's the best iPhone video editing app out there? I don't know. I don't edit videos on my iPhone, but when shooting, I use Filmic Pro. They have a lot of pro features that you can use to manually expose the actual video that you're shooting. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't edit, so I can't really say. Do I need an apprentice? I don't. I don't need an apprentice. I was just wondering if you still use that $80 tripod. Yeah, I do. I still use it. Keep in mind though, I don't do a lot of professional work with tripods. I want to eventually get a better quality one with a better fluid head, but for $80, you really can't beat the quality of this tripod that I'm using. How to build a killer lens kit if you don't know which mount you want to end up using. I think Canon lenses are the easiest to be adapted to any system. That's why I invest in Canon lenses. Another reason that I don't invest into lenses like Sony or like Panasonic for the most part is because I just don't personally like focus by wire. I think like when you manual focus on focus by wire, it just tends to suck and it's very inaccurate. So I just prefer Canon lenses for the most part. They're easily adaptable. They have a lot of budget options that are actually really great quality. And I also don't like focus by wire. I hate it. That's why I don't buy Sony lenses personally. What do I think of the Fujifilm? Honestly, I haven't really looked too much into the Fujifilm cameras. I've seen like reviews here and there from like different YouTubers that I follow. And the video quality looks amazing, but I'm not personally interested in picking one of those cameras up. But if anything, it just shows that every single camera company has a good camera. Like all new cameras that are coming out nowadays are good. Like a lot of people get caught up in like which camera they should have. I want this one, I want that one, I want this one. It really doesn't matter, you know what I mean? Like all of these cameras that are coming out nowadays are great. They output amazing quality, and you can get a really, really, really good camera nowadays for the price point. So I'm not interested in it, but the quality that I've seen from the cameras are dope. How do you deal with difficult clients that are not satisfied with the end result? I try not to work with difficult clients. Like if I work with you and you give me a hard time, I'm probably never gonna work with you again, just because it ruins everything. For one, it creates a product that I'm not personally satisfied as a creator, which sucks. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we want to create stuff that we're happy with. But I mean, when you do get caught in those situations, it's also good to keep in mind that it's not about you. I mean, it is, but it's not. Like you're providing a service for somebody, and at the end of the day, they're paying you to portray them in a way that they want to be portrayed. So if you get into those type of situations where the client isn't necessarily happy with what you're providing to them, it's also good to keep that in mind. You know what I mean? Like try to stand firm on what you believe looks good for the video, but at the end of the day, it's not about you. How do you imagine every day to shoot new? I don't understand what that means. What does that mean? Have you ever made a music video with no effects? Yeah, I actually just made one. I made a music video with no movement and no effects. It's the latest Keys video I put out. I don't really use that many effects anyways. What got me into this field? Interesting. So my brother, he makes music. And I just started shooting his music videos one day and I just loved it. So ever since then, I've been creating music videos. Do you still use the Tiffin ND? Yeah, I use Tiffin variables. What's a reasonable mic for DSLRs? The Rode produces amazing mics. The Video Micro is nice. The Video Mic Go is nice. The Video Mic Pro is nice. They also have the Video Mic Pro Plus. So those are really good microphones. But if you're trying to do a short film, you might want to look into more of like a boom mic setup because it's gonna produce a little bit crispier audio for you. What do I think of the EOS M50? I haven't really looked too much into it. It looked like a really dope camera until I saw what type of crop factor it had on the 4K. And then it was just like, I'm not really interested in it anymore. But I'm sure it produces some good quality. For shooting an average music video, what kind of crew do you have? How many people? A really average music video for me is really just me and Tino. Him there either doing BTS work for me or him helping me there doing lighting and just directing the artists and everything else that comes with the problems that come on set. So a super average music video, it's just me and Tino. And if I need any more help, I'll call out Creative Ryan. And I just have a handful of other people that can help me on set. But it's like super simple, average, really just me and Tino. Do I still like the 60 Mark II? Yeah, I still use the 60 Mark II for the majority of the content that's just seen on this channel. I'm using it right now for the live stream. The GH4 is definitely still a great camera. The 35mm for all kinds of videos. Yes, I love it. I feel like it's the perfect focal length. It's not too close. It's not too wide. It can still produce really cinematic images. Like I'm filming this live stream right now on the 35. It's kind of wide, but it still has that shallow depth of field. You can see right here in the background, like everything blurred out in the foreground and stuff. So I don't know. I love the 35mm, man. That's definitely my favorite focal length. What computer do I recommend for video editing? I tell people this all the time, but I don't really know much about computers. Like I'm not the computer guy. I just buy the computer with the best specifications and hope that it does what I need it to do. I also look at a ton of reviews on like computers and stuff like that, but raw knowledge on computers, I don't really know too much about it. I'm not based in Atlanta. I'm based in Virginia. My bad. I just skipped over a question. When are you planning to move to the cinema level? I'm really, really, really thinking about moving to the C200 very soon. I just haven't pulled the trigger yet. So maybe in a month or two, or maybe in a couple weeks, maybe in 2 weeks, maybe in a week. I don't know. I've been looking into it a lot. My man Armando just dropped a really, really, really dope review on the C200, and it just made me want it even more. Do you ever just go out by yourself and film whatever you want? Yeah, definitely. All the time. All the time. A lot of the stuff that y'all see in my vlogs is just me going out and filming random stuff. What lights do you prefer? I prefer aperture lights. I love aperture lights. Like I love the fact that the majority of them run off of V-Lock batteries. So when I'm out in the field and I want to use lighting and I don't have electricity or a generator, they come in clutch. So pretty much any light that's portable. I'm gonna be doing a review on a light. Really, hold on real quick. I'm gonna be right back. I want to show y'all this light because I'm gonna be doing a review on it in a second. Hold on. Yo, so this light right here. Hold on. See if I got a charged battery real fast. So look. All right. So yeah, asking about my preference on lights. I love lights that's portable because I don't want to carry around a generator whenever I'm creating stuff. So this light right here is the light that I'm going to be doing a review on really, really soon. It's really, really, really dope, and it's portable. That's the best thing about it. You can just use one of these little Sony batteries. Slide it straight in it, and then you have a light. So the dope thing about this, you can already see, is it's RGB. So I'm adjusting the light. Hold on, let me go to take out all the blues. We can take out all the blues. We can increase the oranges, the reds. We can take the greens out. We can put more blues in. It's dope. For one, it's RGB. Now, if we just want to do this type of light right here, we can do this as well. So this is 3200 Kelvin, which is a warmer tone. We can increase the intensity of the light, but we can also do daylight as well. So actually, let me take this out. What I'm doing is doing this wrong. All right, so this is 5600 Kelvin right here, 100% right here. Now, what am I doing? I'm doing something wrong right now. So this is the intensity of the light right here. You can see me increasing the intensity. And then if we want to switch it to different color right here, you can see this is a yellow tone. But it's dope though because it's portable. It has a quarter 20 thread on the bottom of it. And it's just dope. And it also comes with this little plastic piece that you can put on the front to get more of an orange or like a warmer tone. So this is tight. I'm going to be doing a review on this really soon. I'll probably be dropping it on the channel tomorrow. And this light's fire, man. It outputs a really good amount of light, and it's RGB. So anything for music videos that's RGB, 100% plus. This is the, I don't even know how to pronounce this. Yongnuo? I don't know. I'm gonna be doing a review on this though. It's the YN360. So if you search YN360, you'll find it. But I'm gonna be doing a review on this really soon. But lighting preferences for me, as always, portable. I hate having to run a ton of extension plugs to power lights. I don't bring um, I don't bring generators with me. I don't even own a generator. I don't know where they get a generator from. So I don't know. I love aperture lights because they run off VLOX. My bad. Where we at? What's your advice on getting rid of digital noise and low light footage? Just denoise it. But if while you're shooting it, if you're shooting a log, just overexposed by two stops. But honestly, I don't really like to use log and low light footage or just low light situations. Just use a more contrastier profile, and it'll already crush the blacks for you, and it'll take out the majority of that grain that you're getting. But I mean, you could just denoise it. Why do I have a long render process when I have 16 gigs of RAM? I don't know anything about computers, bro. What camera and lens am I using right now? So I'm using the Canon 60 Mark II, and I'm also using the Sigma 35mm f1.4 for this live stream that you're checking out. My bad. If you had to give a starter filmmaking kit with today's amazing cameras and gear, what would the setup be? Really good question. I don't know, yo. I don't know. I don't know. I can't even do that. I mean, like, I could create a kit that I would personally love, but for everybody else, I don't know what would be the kit, you know? But for me, say I had $3,000 and I had to purchase a camera, a lighting setup, and everything else. All right, so for $3,000, I'm gonna get me a Sony. I'm gonna get me a Sony A6500. How much are those going for now? Like 12, 1300. I'm gonna get a 18 to 35, which is gonna cost you like 6 or 7. So we already at 2,000. Maybe not even that. So look, all right, what I would get a G7. You can get a Panasonic G7. No, matter of fact, you get a GH4 for really cheap right now. You can get a GH4 for like $800. I don't know. I can't do this live. I got to think about it. I got to think about it too much. I'm gonna be here all day. My bad. Who's my favorite cinematographer or director? My favorite music video director is Colin Tilley. I think Colin Tilley does some of the most innovative, dope stuff. My bad. He does some of the dopest stuff, like innovative wise. I love Colin Tilley, but I also love Hiro Miri as well. I think he does some really dope stuff as well. Black music. What's up, man? How you doing? I'm good. How does a person reach out to you for a film collaboration? Like, what do you want to do? Like, a lot of people always say, like, yo, bro, we should collab. We should make something. We should do something. But it's like, when I respond and say, all right, what are we doing? They say, I don't know. Like, that's like a really bad way to reach out to somebody. If you're trying to reach out to somebody, this is not even just for me. This is going to be just some advice for everybody here who's thinking about reaching out to somebody for something. Have everything that you want to do already written down and organized, and tell them how they're going to fit into the project, and also tell them how the project is going to benefit them. That's the best way to reach out to somebody. Now, like me, for instance, I shoot music videos. If I was trying to reach out to Future to shoot a music video, this is what I would do. I would listen to one of Future songs that I love. I would listen to it 1,000,000 times. I would write down a really detailed script that I would do for the music video, but I would also create a visual representation of what I wanted to do for the video. Something that's simple enough for him to understand, because I know that, you know, artists don't necessarily know too much about video production. So I'll create a visual interpretation of what the video would look like for him. I would send it to him. I would say, yo, we should collaborate. We should do this video. Now, I would also include the reasons why we should do this video. I would say, look, man, this video would be dope as hell because it's going to make the fans see you in a different light. I'm not going to charge you for the video, so you're not going to have to pay for the video production. All you're going to have to pay for it, the video props and everything else that's included in it. So you're going to get a cheaper rate, and I'm going to give you rights to the music video. Now, this is just hypothetically speaking. I probably wouldn't do all of that, but this is how you reach out to somebody. You need to benefit them. You need to have everything planned, and you need to show them a visual representation of what you're trying to do. that's just some advice for that. Um, I haven't seen the Scissor Garden video. The latest video that I've seen that just blew my freaking mind was the Chris Brown video. The latest Chris Brown video is freaking crazy. They killed that video. When am I doing a short film? I have a lot of really, really, really good ideas for a short film. I just haven't really mapped out the locations and who I'm gonna have in the short film and schedules and all of that stuff. So maybe soon, maybe not soon, but I have some ideas. What's the best way to reach me? Via email. What camera do you recommend for a beginner? Tons. It's too many cameras. It's too many cameras. Like it doesn't matter. And honestly, it doesn't matter. You can get a T2Y, you can get a G7, you can get an A7S II. It doesn't matter. Just get a camera and just create. Settings for exporting Adobe Premiere Pro. Just choose the YouTube setting. Boost up I boost up my bitrate to like 35, and then I do a 2-pass on export. Would you prefer an Aperture LS1, an Aperture 1300D, or two 650Ds? I don't even know what those lights are. I use 120Ds, so I like 120Ds. They're super module. Like, I have a light dome on it right now, which is creating some really soft light for me. But if I wanted to get like a consistent beam of light, I could put a Fresnel on there, or I could put a space light on it to create some soft 360-degree light. So I use 120Ds. I think 120Ds are really dope. Yeah, I use Premiere Pro. Any camera or general reliability advice? I don't know. I don't really want to give like legal advice. I feel like that's just like kind of irresponsible of me to give y'all some legal advice. But when you're creating your contracts for your video production, just include stuff like that in there. Just very vague, like, oh, if my equipment gets damaged within the process of creating this video due to the negligence of the artist or any of the artist's entourage, they are accountable for the damages. And just add like really vague stuff like that into your contracts. I don't want to give you full on legal advice though. What color profile do you shoot on the Panasonic cameras? I use Vlog L. Any thoughts on Instagram TV? So me, it's a really good topic because Instagram TV is popping right now. To be completely honest, I hate Instagram as a platform right now. I've hated Instagram for a while, ever since Instagram went from chronological and Instagram went from having a popular page to an explore page. And also stories. I feel like stories are ruining Instagram as a whole too. I hate Instagram as a platform. Now, one reason that I hate stories is because it kind of differs like certain reasons why you follow certain people. Now, me, I feel like I'm kind of different because I vlog, and a lot of you guys already watch my personal life, and you may genuinely be interested in what I'm doing personally. But for me, I feel like it ruins Instagram because it's certain people that I follow for certain things. Like, I follow certain music video directors for music videos and music video behind the scenes content. And I'm genuinely uninterested in everything else that they're doing. So like when I click on somebody's Instagram story and I see them at a coffee shop getting coffee and walking the dog or telling jokes or doing something other than music videos, it kind of turns me off. It's like, man, I don't want to see this. I would just love for you to post really dope content because that's what personally inspires me. So I feel like maybe that's kind of selfish on me, but it kind of, I don't know. It's either a love it or hate it thing. A lot of people love to see the personal connection with certain people, but for me, I feel like that personal connection kind of turns me off from what I want to actually see from the person. So that right there, unchronological order, them feeding content to you that they think you want to see instead of them putting it in order. Like I hate when I get on Instagram and I see like a post from 3 days ago before a post that went up 15 minutes ago. Like that just irks the hell out of me. Instagram TV, I mean, it's cool. I've seen some people use it in really cool ways, but I feel like a lot of people are just using it to post things that they would have posted to their story. So I don't know. It's not getting its full potential right now. And I think for creators to fully invest into it, they need to add some type of monetization offerings or system with it. So for me, I'm not going to go super hard on Instagram TV to create some really dope videos when I could create really dope videos here on YouTube. and partially get paid from creating those videos. So they got to pay the creators at the end of the day. Hopefully that wasn't too long. Hopefully that made sense. If you were on an airplane, would you pick pretzels or peanuts? Depends. It depends, yeah. It depends on how hungry I was. Like if I was slightly hungry, I would probably pick pretzels. But if I was hungry, I would probably pick peanuts. Should I get an LLC when first starting? That's up to you, man. You got to look into the benefits of getting an LLC. I have one, but I'm not going to tell you that you should get one when you first start. Yeah, I get rid of old cameras whenever I'm trying to upgrade to a new one. Have you ever shot music videos with prime lenses? If so, what do you think of stabilizer? Do you use have you ever shoot music videos with prime lens? If so, what kind of stabilizer do you use to get stable shots? I mean, I use the same stabilizer that I would use to get stable shots with any lens. Pineapples on pizza. I'm not against it at all. How do you get better at photo and video? You consistently do it. You just continue to do it. It's the same thing with everything else. What kind of SanDisk card do you use? I use Extreme Pro. They've never corrupted on me. Other than YouTube, what other platform do you recommend? It depends on what you're trying to do. What's some of the smallest tips you learn that turn your videos around, and with getting the quality you wanted? Study, yeah. Study, y'all. As crazy as it sounds, study people that you want to be like. And when I say study, I don't mean copy, but study what makes the work pop out to you. Have you ever looked at something and ran it back like 2 or 3 times? It was like, yo, what about this video is making me love it so much? Just sit and study that type of stuff. Like, dang, well, maybe it's the lighting that they used, or it's the movement that they're using. The movement that they're using is making this fire. Study, like, a lot of people really just look into the camera. The camera is like the least of what creates a lot of the stuff that people love. Most of the time it's the lens. Most of the time it's the lighting. Most of the time it's the story, the movement, like everything else but the camera. The camera's like at the bottom of the list of what really makes videos dope. So, I mean, I think that's what photography is as well. Think about the composition of the photo. Think about the lighting that they use for it, how the models pose, the location, the color scheme that they use, everything like that, everything other than the camera at the end of the day. So just study that type of stuff. Do you shoot log, C log or S log? Don't know the term. Yeah, I shoot log. Do you prefer the Sigma 35mm prime on the GH5 or my 18 and 35? It really depends on the scenario, but most of the time I prefer to use my 35 prime. I like the flares that it gives are a lot better than the ones off of the 18 and 35. Also, the focusing at 35 millimeters is a lot easier to do on the prime lens as opposed to me zooming my 18 to 35 in and using it at 35 millimeters. So I really enjoy using my 35 millimeter prime more than using 35 millimeters on my 18 to 35. Do I study Peter McKinnon? Not really, because I don't really aspire to be like an amazing YouTuber, if that makes sense. Like, I shoot music videos, so music videos are most of the time my primary thought and my primary thought train. Like, I create videos for YouTube, and I want my videos to be as high quality as possible. Don't get me wrong, but like, music videos are what I do at the end of the day. Like, if I can focus and I can create a really dope music video, creating YouTube videos, like, easy. So I wouldn't say I study Peter McKinnon. I think Peter McKinnon is dope as hell. I love the fluidity of how he talks. He's so easy to listen to. He talks really well. He has the humor going for him. I think he's dope as hell, but I wouldn't say I study him. I've never shot any action short films. Best all around starter lens, Sigma 35 or something else. Nah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's the best starter lens. It's just my favorite lens. Like, a good starter lens would probably be some sort of zoom. How do you always make sure you have content to post on your Instagram? I don't. Before I start posting, like last week, I hadn't posted on Instagram in like a month. So, um, I mean, I don't. I just want to say thank you for explaining things about making great videos. Christopher, man, thank you. I appreciate that a lot. I appreciate you for just supporting and checking out this content that I'm creating, man. The Sony A7 III versus Canon 60 Mark II for photo and video. I think the A7 III is gonna produce a lot better video. It has better frame rate options. It has better resolution options. But for me, this is me. This is my personal opinion. I don't like Sony photos. I think Sony pictures are never as good as Canon pictures. Like, I don't know. I like the photography experience on Canon a lot better. Now for video, A7 III probably beats it out. Definitely beats it out like 100%. But for video, for photography, my bad. I think the 60 Mark II is more favorable in my personal opinion. I enjoy it. My bad. Hold on real quick. Where we at? How many years did it take you to get to this point? I've been shooting since like 2010, I think. So, I mean, I've been doing video for a really long time. What are some tips to ensure everything runs smoothly on set? Nothing ever runs smoothly on set. It doesn't matter how much you plan or how coordinated you think you are. Nothing's ever going to go smooth on set. It's really about learning to improvise when something does go wrong. How can I focus with manual lenses on GlideCam? Just set the range of where you're going to be focusing to your subject and just stay within that range. How are you live streaming this video? I'm using a Canon 60 Mark II. Do you back up your footage to 2 WD drives? I just do one. Do you storyboard for music videos? I do, some of them. Are there any music videos from other countries that inspire you? I don't really look too much at music videos from other companies. Should you pay to trademark your logo when you first start? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Best lens for music videos on the A7 III. It's not a best lens. You need to take a look at my website with Sony images, bro. I mean, that's not me saying that Sony images are bad. I just prefer to take pictures on the Canon. You would change your mind, just tools. Nah, I just prefer the process of taking pictures on Canon cameras. Like, I took a couple pictures on a Sony A7R III when I had it. Like, the pictures, I don't know, something about they just weren't as good, and that's my personal opinion. I shot my video with my girl off the strength of your videos. Thanks for the game, bro. Appreciate you, man. Is the Porsche coming before or after the cinema camera? Good question, man. I don't know what's coming first. I don't know. I just want to tell you I follow all your moves and I love how humble and simple you keep it. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate that a lot. I do use SSDs. Brandon, I appreciate you, man, for the super chat, the support, man. Where you been at? I feel like I haven't seen a video from you in a little minute. What follow focus system do I use? For my shoulder rig, I use Newer. Y'all know that brand. I use Newer. It's nothing super expensive. Flat cam or glide cam? I'm gonna say glide cam. When it comes to securing locations, do you have any weird or funny stories? Yeah. I don't know how many of you guys are like super OG like subscribers here, but one time I found this super dope ass location online, and it was like this super sick stairwell, and it was like at this abandoned asylum, which is like 30 minutes away from me where I live. So, Creative Ryan and I and another one of our buddies, Alex, we went out to this haunted asylum, and we were looking for the stairwell, and this freaking asylum is haunted. I don't know if you guys heard me. It's freaking haunted. It's really haunted. So we went there, and we were looking for it, and the first thing that we noticed was that the gate, it was like gated up. Now, typically with abandoned stuff, most of the time it's like a hole in the gate somewhere, or it's like graffiti everywhere, stuff like that, because people tend to go to abandoned things and, not necessarily vandalize them, but put their graffiti art on them. We got there, everything was boarded up, straight gate. So we hopped the fence, we went into this asylum. And when I tell you, I've never been so scared before in my life, yo. A lot of paranormal stuff was happening in this place, but it's a vlog on the channel, check it out. It's scary as fuck. It's like some weird sound effects at certain spots in it, man. It's like some static. It's really freaking eerie. Check it out. But yeah, we went to a haunted asylum looking for a location, and we never found it because we actually were at the wrong asylum. So we went to this crazy ass place where, like, it's crazy. You gotta watch the video. Curry shot you. First off, I appreciate your content always. Too, where can I get that free Huey shirt from? Yo, so this free Huey tee is from like a local brand where I live called Dream and Diamonds. Dream and Diamonds. If you search them, you'll find it. But yeah, this is from a local brand. One of my homies makes this. What are my thoughts on Ronin S now? So I've had the Ronin S for like a couple days now. I used it to create the actual video that you guys saw with me unboxing it and stuff like that. Now, real world impressions of what I thought about the gimbal, the Ronin S. I like it. I like it. Now, one of the main things that I mentioned in the video was that it was heavy. It's not. It's when I say it's heavy compared to like what a lot of other people are using. So a lot of people use Crane V2s and Crane Pluses and A2000s and Moza Air, stuff like that. Like those are like pretty lightweight gimbals. This thing is heavy compared to that. Now, the primary gimbal that I already use is a Ronin M, so I'm used to having gimbals that have a nice weight to them, and I actually do prefer that because it produces a lot less bounce when you're shooting. So it's heavy. It's gonna be heavy to a lot of people because they use those lighter systems. I'm used to it. I already use a Ronin M. So I like it. I love the fact that you can increase the motor stiffness, which is what I do on my Ronin M. It's just something that I'm very familiar with. It's like me jumping from a GH4 to a GH5. I've already used the GH4 for a ton of times. So, I mean, I love it. So, I mean, I like it. I think it produces some really stable footage. I think it has problems, though. I think it has typical problems, though. Like, typical problems that other pistol grip gimbals have. Now, a lot of people they never understand why I love the Ronin M so much. The Ronin M just does things a little differently. Like, pistol grip gimbals always have, like, this weird motion. Like, for instance, when you have to go from the regular mode to when you flip it over, when you go, what do you call that mode? Underslung? I guess that's what you call it. They just do weird stuff. Like when you're trying to roll and when you're trying to pan the gimbal, they do weird stuff. This is not just a Ronin S disc. This is just a disc to like pistol grip gimbals as a whole. They just do weird, wacky stuff, which the Ronin M doesn't do. So, I don't know. It has its problems. It has like its typical like glitches when you move it a certain way, but that's not only relative to that. A lot of other pistol grip gimbals do stuff like that. So that's why I prefer the Ronin M. I'm not gonna get the dual handles for the Ronin S. I already have a Ronin M, so if I want to use that setup, I already have a gimbal for it. And I'm not aware of any UK directors. Good lenses for the G7. The 12 to 35 Panasonic lens, I think, is probably one of the best lenses that they have. How old was you when you got your first camera? Honestly, I'm not sure. I gotta look into that. I don't know. Dang, it's gotten so dark in here because it's dark outside. Now that I look at the live stream, it actually looks a lot better like this. You should show up to one of the Street Meet DC events. I think you get shown a lot of love there. What is that? What happens there? What is that about? But can you adjust the settings on a pistol grip to respond like a Ronin M? They just do weird stuff. I don't know. It's just the mechanics of them. Like when you go to inverted mode, it's just weird. That whole transition to going into inverted is weird. Like when you want to roll the gimbal and pan it, it just does weird stuff. I don't know. That's just how pistol grip gimbals work. Do you ask companies to send free test products or do they contact you? I get contacted all the time to review kind of like gear and get sent stuff. I deny a lot of that stuff though. because a lot of this stuff I'm not interested in. Like, I don't know. I'm just not interested in a lot of this stuff. And I really want to get to a point. I've gotten to a point where I only want to review things that I genuinely use. So I went on like a really long run where I was reviewing a ton of gimbals. The A2000, the Moza Air, the Crane. Like, I'm not interested in any of those gimbals, to be completely honest. Like, y'all guys see me in the videos all the time. I tell you how good it is, but I still go back to my Ronin M. That's not because it's better. That's just what I prefer. I'm just not interested in using any other things. So a lot of the stuff I'm just not interested in doing. So if you see me collaborating with a company nowadays, it's because it's something that I'm genuinely interested in using. If you could rob a store, what camera would you pick? Good question. Good question. Why is that a good question? If I could rob a store, what camera would I get? Probably like a C200, y'all, or like a Red Scarlet or something. How do you find clients that will actually spend money? Just keep creating good content. They'll find you. Is YouTube and filming your only jobs? Yeah. Is it good still in 50 shutter speed for 24 frames per second rap clips? Yes. Do you have any color grade presets available for Final Cuts? LUTs work in Final Cut as well. So if you get a LUT, it's not relative to editing software. You can use it in any software. What's the difference between an A6300 and A7 III other than the full frame? I don't know. That's something that you should look into online. I don't really know too much. Where's that podcast? I'm trying to hear you cuss. So we recorded an episode of the podcast last night. I'm not sure if that's going to be another scratch episode. We've been recording. We're just trying to get into the groove of, actually podcasting. I'm just waiting for the branding items to come back. So I got a logo design coming. And then once I get that, I'll be able to brand the channel that we're going to be starting and all the back-end logistics and stuff like that. So I'm just waiting on the logo right now. And then I'll go through and do all the branding and all the other stuff that needs to happen on the channel. And then it'll be up. So really soon, probably within a week or so. I was supposed to get logos back yesterday, but I don't know, man. I got to reach out. You should make a mini movie. Do you have some recent behind the scenes videos you haven't dropped yet? Yeah, I actually have a ton of behind the scenes videos. A lot of these videos are simple though, like super, super simple. So it's like I always sit on the fence and think like, damn, is somebody gonna even be interested in these videos? Because it's not like we're doing lighting and we're like all the complex videos that I've done, like the T Crooks video that we did for 3 words and like the recent Ace Haven video where we're kind of like manipulating lighting and doing a lot of different lighting setups. I always try to put those out because I know people are going to actually learn some stuff from them. But a lot of this stuff that we shoot is just run and gun. So I just shot a video for Redhead a couple months ago where it was literally me just pulling up to his hood with my shoulder rig on my camera and me just shooting a bunch of different angles. So that's the stuff that I don't necessarily know if people are going to be interested in. But we're also going to be releasing a video in like a week that we shot in Miami, which is really cool. And I have a lot of BTS footage from that. So that'll be something that'll probably drop here soon. So, yeah. Do you always shoot full frame? Nah, I don't. For photography, I do prefer to shoot full frame, but not for videos. What's my opinion on music videos in 60 FPS? They're cool as long as you export at 24. What are tips you would give on shooting a music video for a celebrity who was on a budget? Tips on making a quality video for low cost. Just create, yo. Just try to maximize your location. So if you can only afford to rent out one location, like a warehouse is really good to shoot music videos in because you can do so many different things. You can move a light. You can move 2 lights and it'll completely transform or morph the scene that you're in. So maximize your location. If you can rent out a studio, studios are really good as well because you can, like I said, move lighting and transform exactly what you're doing into something else really simply. So just maximize your location. I think that's the best way to get a really quality video. Use apps like Turo. Rent yourself out a studio wherever you live. Use Turo to get a nice luxury car like a Porsche or a Benz or a BMW or something. and just shoot at a studio. You can move lights around. You can shoot the artist in front of the car. You can shoot the artist in the car. You can move the lights to make it look nice. Studios are like one of the easiest places to create a really, really, really quality video for not that much money. You'll make me a logo tonight. Do I follow Isaiah Rashad? I don't really. I'm heavily into TDE, but I haven't really gotten into Isaiah Rashad yet. So I've been on a J-Rock wave lately because he just dropped the album. Man, yo, they're releasing like these Road to Redemption, like kind of like webisode series where they're like going back in the past and having people like, you know, touch on their testimonials about the different career paths of the TDE artists and stuff like that. And it's crazy, man. I love it. I love to see like old footage. Like they just released one where J-Rock was going to get the feature from Wayne for his like debut single, and like it's like Kendrick from like '07 in there, and it's dope as hell to see. So now I haven't really gotten into Isaiah Rashad, but I do listen to a lot of TDE. Do you have a BTS? My bad. Where did I go to? I just skipped everything. Do you have a behind the scenes of a video shoot? All the time. You retire from the graphic design game. Yeah, I'm not in there, y'all. Y'all recording video too for the podcast or just audio? Nah, we got video too, so we're doing both. Do you have any interest in doing commercial work like car ads? Not at all. Blank canvas. I appreciate the donation, man. What separates a good camera person from being a good director? Directing is different. Directing is hyping up an artist when they're doing something wrong, or letting the extras on the set to know what to do, or telling the lighting guy what to do, or like directing is exactly what it sounds like, directing. So it's you actually not only filming when it needs to be done, but directing the set and making sure things go smoothly. So I think it's two different concepts. How often do you use drone footage? Very rarely. I don't even own a drone, so. What frame rate do I use for slow motion? I use a lot, but most of the time I use 72 frames per second. Why do I prefer Premiere over Final Cut? Yo, Manny, good question. Honestly, I come from Final Cut. So I use Final Cut Pro 7. Now I used that for like a ton of time. I loved it. Probably still to this day one of my favorite programs. But when Final Cut Pro X came out, it was just so different from what I was used to that I really couldn't get into it. It's just like, I know it's very user friendly, like everything in it is very user friendly, but it's just so different from Final Cut Pro X. So I made the transition into Premiere because I felt like it was more similar. They even had like the keyboard shortcut binds that you can set for Final Cut Pro 7. So it was just the easiest transition for me. Can you recommend any cool / interesting lights to use while filming? It's too many lights. Honestly, it's too many lights. It's too many lights. What do you think is the best beginner / editor program? iMovie, and Final Cut Pro X. I feel like Final Cut Pro X is a little bit easier to get into if you're just starting out editing, as opposed to like Final Cut Pro. You open up Final Cut Pro, you're probably gonna be like, yo, what am I looking at? I don't know how to do anything. So I feel like Final Cut Pro X is an easier software to get into. How old am I? I'm 26. Do you ever work as an independent contractor for companies, or you always worked under your own brand? For the most part, I always work under my own brand. What are some reasons of wanting to see C200? I want a C200 because I love Canon colors for one. I love Canon colors. I feel like a perfect camera for me. Canon colors. Canon is so easy to grade. The colors that come out of the camera are freaking amazing. Canon autofocus is so clutch for creating these videos like this one right here for YouTube. But the problem I've always had with like Canon DSLRs is that they lack simple cinematography features like focus peaking and zebras, and stuff like that. So the C200 kind of solves that problem. It has a raw internal. It has a log format to get increased dynamic range. It has the Canon colors. It has the Canon autofocus. It's just kind of perfect. It has 120 frames per second at 1080, 4K 60. It's just the perfect camera for what I would like to create, if that makes sense. Now I know it's a ton of cameras that do more things, but I don't know. I feel like would be the easiest to use to create really good quality. So I mean, that's why. It also has built-in NDs, which is super clutch. My bad. Let me just scroll this out. Uh, do you plan on making a prediction about IGTV and what ways video producers can do with it? I think you can. I think you can create some really, really, really dope videos for IGTV. I think that it's not gonna go as far as it can be because they're not. They're for one, they're not enabling monetization options. I feel like if you're gonna go super, super hard on a platform to create really dope videos, why not go to YouTube? Because you have an option there to, potentially make a little bit of money off of what you're creating. So it's like for the people who've already invested in YouTube heavily, I don't know if they're going to transition over to IGTV to the point where it's like, all right, well, I'm leaving YouTube or I'm investing the same amount of effort and time into these videos because it's like I can stay right here and make potentially a little bit of money off of them. Whereas here, I'm not making any money at all. So they need to add monetization options. I feel like they also need to kind of limit the service a little bit because everybody that I've been seeing using it, they're just using it to post things that they would have already posted to their story. So they're already making it not interesting. So I think they need to limit it to an extent. Do you think 2.8 is a must over f4? Nah, not at all. Not at all. Is the GH5 the best camera for music videos and pictures? I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, I enjoy it, but I'm not going to say it's the best camera. What gimbal would you prefer for a wedding videographer? Probably like a Crane 2. They said that they're going to allow monetization. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna invest my time into it. I already hate Instagram as a platform, so I doubt that that's something that I'm gonna be doing. So, I mean, hey, if they invest monetization, I could definitely see it being something dope. I went to like the popular portion of it where they show like popular people obviously, but I like the way Kim Kardashian is using it. I think she's using it really dope. I like the way that she's using it. Now, I don't know. It could be dope. I'm not gonna invest my time in it though, I don't think. How do you reach out to brands for collabs? Will you include in an email? If you're trying to get a brand to collab with you, tell them what you do. So me, when I reach out to a brand for collaboration, this is what I do. I say, hey, what's up? I'm such and such. I do such and such. So I would say, hey, I'm Christopher Rhodes. I shoot music videos. Tell them what you have that's going to benefit them. I have a YouTube channel. I run a film-based YouTube channel with over 150,000 subscribers. I'm interested in this product that you guys are creating. So it will probably be like a camera lens or a light. I'm interested in this light. I think this light will be really dope to integrate into my workflow. What I could do for it is show examples of it being used and also review the product for my audience of 150,000 subscribers. Are you guys looking for influences for the product? And that would pretty much be it. So include yourself, tell them what you do, tell them how you can benefit you, tell them how you can benefit them, and also tell them the audience size that you're trying to promote to. And that's pretty much it. That's all you got to do. What are your profile settings when shooting in Cinelike D? I just use it exactly how it comes out of the camera, so I don't adjust anything. Make more videos on how to make money as a filmmaker. Okay. Is Instagram too complicated? I don't think it's complicated. Tips for new YouTubers who don't have any tech to review cameras or anything, just for beginners. I mean, review what you have if that's something that you want to do. You don't have to be like a tech reviewer to make a YouTube channel. You can base a YouTube channel around your life. You don't have to use any tech. You can film it on your phone. So figure out what you're trying to do first. I mean, I think that's that's the main thing that you should be trying to do. Say something good about a Rebel T6. Has 1080p recording, correct? It's lightweight. Does it also have a swivel screen? I don't know too much about the T6. What do you think is the best Canon lens for video? It's not a best lens. It's not a best lens. What camera would you choose for filming coming from a Canon 60D? Depends on budget. On bigger production, how do you find crew? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I mean, I haven't done too many huge, big crew shoots, so this is something that I also have to learn. What products do you use for your hair? Honestly, I don't know. My girlfriend has like natural hair, so I just use whatever she has in the house. But I don't know anything about the products. I just use whatever's in the crib. How did I start YouTube? I just started vlogging one day. Like I used to like upload my music videos here, but then I just started vlogging one day. Like I had like this trip where I went out to Vegas and I was shooting a video for T Crooks, and I was like, damn, let me film this and like document this. Uh, because I had been watching YouTube for a while. Like I was like heavily into like Casey Neistat, and I always been into like fashion and gaming and stuff. So I was like, damn, let me just try this, and it was fun. So I just kept doing it. So that's how I got into it. I don't have a mentorship program. What are some places to get good YouTube intro templates? Video Hive. Do I real need to go to school to become a filmmaker like you? Well, I don't really create films, so that's like a heavy question that a lot of people ask me. Do I need to go to school to create films? Yo, I want to be a filmmaker. Do I need to go to school? I don't create films, so I don't know. I make music videos. Now, if you want to make a music video, you definitely don't need to go to school for this. I just I make music videos. I don't make films, and it's a lot of concepts of films that I don't understand because I never went to school for film. I don't understand audio. I don't understand dialogue. I don't understand a lot of stuff. So I don't make films, so I can't say if film school is worth it or not. I do still use my Cam Link for live streams. Why everyone asking all them serious questions? I just want to know, where did I get the T-shirt from? So this T-shirt is from a local brand out here where I live, called Dream and Diamonds. So look them up. You can grab one of these free Huey tees. If your wifey gives you $6,000 to start up, what would you do with it? Purchase camera, lights, computer. That's all you need. Some sort of stabilizer. Have you ever used the Crane too? Yeah, I have. It's dope. When you do 4K recording, do you upload in 4K format? Some Most of the time I do upload in 4K. How did you make your intro? My intro. Do you mean my outro? Well, I don't know. I haven't used the intro in a really long time, but my intro and outro were also presets from Video Hive. How did you brand yourself and develop your style? The best way and easiest way to develop a style is just to try everything. I've tried everything. Like everything that I've seen others do that has inspired me, I've tried it, and I've saw how I liked it or not. And eventually you'll figure out things that you hate that you never want to do again, but it's a lot of things that you'll love and that you want to continue to do. So it's really all about you creating a bag of things that you love to do and just continuously using those. Um, what were some steps you took to take what you like from people that inspire you and make it your own style? Uh, I've tried everything. I've shot weddings. I've shot freaking live performances. I've done it all. I took pictures. I designed mixtape covers. So it's like a lot of people, they only want to do one thing, which is cool. Don't get me wrong. If you know what you want to do, you know what you want to do. But I didn't necessarily know what I wanted to do. So I've tried everything, and trying everything makes you realize what you hate, which is more important than what you love, I believe, because you don't want to do anything that you hate. So figure out what you hate, and then you'll figure out what you love in the same process. Daily food, something that I eat on a daily, probably oatmeal. I eat oatmeal like every day. Do you boost videos on Facebook and Instagram? What do you mean boost? Do you mean like pay for promotion? I paid to promote some of my videos, but I really only pay to promote like something that I'm selling. So like when I release a branded kit, I'll put it on Instagram and I'll pay to have them run it through promotions. What's the typical budget for a music video? For me, typically it's like anywhere from like 1,000 to like 2,000. That's like an average video for me, but it goes up sometimes. Do you have an ultimate career goal? I just want to create really dope music videos. really, really, really dope music videos. So look, I'm gonna check out of here in a second. In probably like 10 minutes. It's 3:18 now. I'm supposed to check out of here at 2:30, so I'm like way over the line. So look, I'm gonna check out of here at 3:30, which is 12 minutes away. So if you got any questions, make sure you guys ask. And if you're here right now, obviously you're here right now, hit the like button before y'all leave so we can increase the likes on the live stream before it even goes live. What lens do I recommend for portraits? The 50mm is really good for portraits. Who's a filmmaker that I look up to? I mean, I look up to like music video directors. So like Colin Tilley and like Jacob Owens and like Alex Nazari, Matt Alonzo. Bunch, man. It's a bunch. Can you please tell me the sound effects you use in your intro and outro? It's no sound effects in it. It's just a song and that's it. It's no sound effects at all. It's just a song and then it's the motion that the outro's doing. So it's no sound effects at all. How do I feel about 3D video? I think 3D video is cool. I just think it hasn't reached its potential. It's kind of annoying. Like whenever I click on a video on YouTube and it's 3D and it's like, oh, like nobody wants to do a full 360 circle to look at a video. I mean, you can do this, but then it just kind of takes the fun out of it. So 3D video is cool, I think, for virtual reality, but as a whole, it's kind of like, yeah. Yeah, if you got a question, you can ask it to me right now. I never check my Instagram DMs though, to be completely honest. Transfer my footage from my camera to Premiere. I have to resize the footage. What do you mean resize it? Like, what is it doing? Siada? I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, but thank you. How much to charge when first starting out? I can't tell you how much to charge. My first music videos, I was getting paid like $150 though. I'm talking about weird crunches of your logo. That's something that came with the preset that I bought from the that I bought for the intro. Have I ever had an injury on set? I haven't. When did you find out this is what you love to do? When I don't know, it's like the first music video I shot. I was like, yo, I love this. This is cool as hell to do. I like this. So probably like the first music video. Alicia, I think she's dope as hell. I love her videos. I don't want to say she's given a different look, but she's kind of like, I don't know, something about her perspective is different. I don't know if it's because she's a woman or not, but I love like the look that she's giving the artist, like Drake. I think her videos are dope as hell. Like Hannah Lux. I don't know if you know who Hannah Lux is. Hannah Lux is dope as hell too. I think she creates some really dope videos. It's not a best lens. How many lenses do you have in the setup right now? How many lights? Just one light. It's literally just one light. It's a 120D right here, and that's it. And then this other light that's hitting me right here is just coming from my window. Have I accidentally deleted footage? Yeah, I've done that a couple times. Your LUTs are dope, by the way. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Diffusers or filters? Which would you recommend for harsh lighting, for harsh light shooting? Both. I'm upset. Was underwhelming to me. Yeah, me as well, because I think one of the reasons that it was underwhelming to me is because I've never watched Degrassi, however you pronounce it. So I don't really know what was going on. Like, I don't know the context of any of it. So I think that's one of the main reasons that it was underwhelming to me. Do you need contracts when first starting out? You don't need contracts, but I think it's always good to have one. I haven't seen the Scissor Garden video. Any cheap alternatives to a Metabones? I've never really used any other options. I don't have a college degree. Crazy enough though. I'm like I'm like 6 credits away from an associate's degree. I just never went back to get it. Do you use externals, SSD or hard drives? I use both. When did you shoot your first music video? I shot my first music video like, sheesh, like 7 years ago. How do you ask for money when first meeting artists? Just tell them how much you charge. I do like the Zoom H4. I think it's dope. I use Zoom H5 though, I believe. I think I use the H5. Why is this so freaking loud? Holy crap. Um, have you seen all the new Sigma art lenses? Like, nah. What are the new Sigma art lenses? Like, what do they have? Ideas to start getting subs. If you're trying to get subscribers, you got to make content that is search friendly. So think about what people are going to search for and create content based on that if you want to get subscribers. So I create music videos. I know a lot of people are searching for different looks of how cameras look and lenses and lights and stabilizers. So I base a lot of my titles around that type of content because I know people are looking for this certain type of stuff. Rory, I appreciate that, man. Were you discouraged by your first music video? Nah, not at all. It just made me want to create better stuff. So I looked at it as motivation. I wanted to figure out everything. I wanted to figure out how they were creating this look, or how they did this, or how they did that. And the fact that I didn't have access to resources made me get creative and do like cheap alternatives to a lot of this stuff. So, I mean, I loved it. It was like one of my favorite times. I'm using a Blue Yeti microphone right now. What was your basic lighting setup in the beginning? I use can lights from Walmart all the time. How do you get out of a creative slump? Just shoot anything. Just shoot anything. Like, I think you create motivation. I don't think motivation just appears. You got to create it. You have to create motivation. I'm not using an H5 for, actually I am using an H5 for my podcast. When will you have $5 specials again on your webpage? Soon. For editing a music video, it depends. It varies, honestly. It could take me 3 hours to create a music video. To edit one. It could take me 2 days. So it's all over the place. My girlfriend shoots too. Yeah, she actually does photography. I think you should test it out and see what results you get from it. Oh, you're talking to somebody else. How do you find good locations to film at? Scout. You gotta scout. You got to. Drive around and look for different places that you've never been. Like, just drive down streets that you've never been to. How do I handle haters on my platform? I don't want to say I used to be sensitive to like haters or like hater comments, but they used to spark me up. They used to like make me want to respond. I feel like I had to respond every time. And that happens when you don't get that many hater responses. So like a lot of people on YouTube, I see some people's videos and the amount of like hate comments that they get, or just like the dumb stuff that people say in the comments, is like overwhelming to me, even looking from the outside in, which I have to deal with very rarely. It's like very minimal, the amount of people who comment really dumb stuff on my videos. So like for me, the fact that I wasn't getting that much hate, I felt like I always had to respond. Like I had to always put somebody in their place. But it looks bad, it looks really bad, because it's like the amount of love that you're gonna get on a post or just a project in general is always gonna outweigh the hate every time. So like when I was seeing myself having 100 good comments and then that one stupid comments that pissed me off, I felt like I had to respond to, but I wasn't responding to the other 100 amazing comments from people who actually loved it. I knew that I was like, yo, like this doesn't look good. Like this is bad. So I just look at it from that perspective. Like as long as you just acknowledge the love, the hate will just fade away. You know what I mean? When you acknowledge hate and you respond to it, it just feeds the fire, because people love negativity. So if you sit there and feed the fire and you respond and then they respond and then you keep responding, this is all everybody's going to look at. As much as people like to say that they don't like negativity, people like to look at negativity when it doesn't involve them. So don't feed the fire. Just don't feed the fire, and it'll eventually go out. Um, yeah, I have a let on this. I have a let on this live stream. Best settings for the Zoom. I don't know anything about audio. You can't ask me anything about audio. I'm gonna give you like really bad suggestions. Other than using your LUTs, what profiles do you suggest on the A7R2? I like Cine 4 a lot. Would you ever do a live stream where you watch and review some of your subs videos? Yeah, I used to do it all the time. I just haven't done it in a while because I don't like it. I don't like to like look at videos and critique them. I don't know. It makes me look at them like looking for something that's wrong with them. So I hate it. What do I think of the G7 is dope. G7 is a really dope camera. It's a dope camera. So look, I'm out of here, yo. I've been live for like an hour or so. I was supposed to check out of here like 30 minutes ago. So I want to appreciate all y'all for checking out this live stream. Maybe up later for a replay. But before you check out of here, drop this a like just so it gets the like. You know what I mean? If you hear it, just drop a like. That's all you got to do. But yeah, feel free to follow me on Instagram or Twitter. Yeah, I'm always on Twitter. Not really on Instagram that much. I'm always on Twitter. If you guys have a question that you want to ask me, tweet it to me. I'll see it. I'll respond instantly most of the time. Yeah, I mean, that's it. So I'm out of here. Appreciate all y'all for checking out the live stream. I'm going to check y'all out on my next video. Peace out, homies. Hold up. How do I even end this? All right, I'm out. Peace.